Awesome. Well, Jordan, I've now. Do we have permission to click the?
Is it time?
I think it's
Is it
time.
time?
Okay, let's rock and roll.
Time for Jordan's idea.
Okay. So, a lot of pressure here.
Yeah.
This is big.
I'm stepping up to the plate, and hopefully I hit a home run here so I can be invited back.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, the name of this company is probably the worst.
I
Part.
disagree. I think
I like it.
You like it?
I do.
Okay, so I thought of this as I was laying in bed last night.
it's a little campy, but
It's very, if you're your typical dad, you're going to love it. It's a great name. Okay, so the name is Visibuildity, like visibility, but
Got it.
okay.
Yeah.
And it's providing visibility into your construction projects, okay?
okay.
So here are some of the issues or challenges or pain points that we as consumers experience here. Particularly if you're a homeowner, if you are building a home, if you've got a construction or a manual labor project, these are kind of the issues. First of all, home builders are notorious for not sticking to timelines.
The worst.
The
Right?
worst.
It's like,
The worst.
yeah, your home's going to be done in July. You're like, okay, I can plan on, January the following year.
Yeah.
Did we say July? Because we meant August.
Yeah, and right, I'm not far off on that. Everyone can agree with that. The next thing is not knowing what the next steps are. I'm finishing my basement right now. I won't say the name of the company, but it has been an absolute nightmare.
It always is.
They gave an 8-week time frame. I think we're on week 21 now.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Like they started in February.
That's 3x.
This is
Yeah.
bad.
That sucks.
Like I left 1-star reviews bad. Like this is anyway.
And I'm not a review guy.
So I never know what the next step is, right?
And here's the thing, we get it. Construction is like, it's things can get pushed back, but a little communication goes a long way, right?
Totally. Like
And that's the worst with home building, right? Is I will reach out and be, hey, are you guys painting today? You said you were painting last week. It looks like you're not here. Why aren't you here?
Right.
All it would take is to be like, hey, we have 12 other gigs, other things to express. It's like, we're working on it. Sorry.
Yeah.
no, that's a great point. Like just communicate with me. If nothing else, like just communicate.
yeah.
Hey, it rained last week. We're a little behind. Great. Let me know that.
Yeah. It's like you have to play a project manager for your own
Oh,
Yes.
you really
project,
do.
which
If you want
there's
things
no
to
reason.
move forward quickly, you have to do that.
Yeah.
A couple other challenges is you'll go back and look at their work and you'll see they just kind of BS their way through it. They'll do the easiest or quickest thing opposed to necessarily doing the most
Yep.
quality thing, right?
Yep.
And especially as you're building a home, it's fun to go drive by the home and see where they're at. But after a while, that gets really annoying. It's like, I just want to know where we're at. Give me an update, show me a picture, something.
I do remember being like, should we go by the house? Like, as our house has been, should we go by? It's like, I don't know. We were by 2 days ago and there was the hole's still there.
yeah. And then you show up and nothing's been done. You're like, oh, why did I come? Yeah.
And then one day you'll show up and it's like, there's 4 walls and plumbing's done. You're like, whoa, I would have
Yeah.
loved to know
Yeah.
that how long has this been here?
Yeah.
Totally. So those are kind of the issues around this. So what is Visibuildity? So it's a platform for general contractors and home builders to provide the homeowner or whoever's owning that project with an exact update on timelines, what next steps are, and if you're on schedule. Okay, this is going to be provided through checklists, images, videos, things like that.
Yep.
I feel like for some reason I didn't want to steer this towards an app. I feel like that's kind of a cop-out for some reason.
Sure.
But I feel like that's the best medium for this. So typically when you first sit down with your general contractor or your the foreman or whoever, they'll go through the project. Week 1's plumbing and HVAC, week 2 is electrical, right? They give you a timeline or an idea of what to expect. During the process, just like Scott was alluding to, it's week 2. Oh, painting hasn't been done. What's going on? You just shoot them a text or you call. They don't respond.
Or even like, I don't know what the next step is. Like,
Right.
oh, they need to do HVAC. I didn't even know that was in the timeline. Like, yeah.
Totally.
So just to see like, oh, there's 25 steps to this process and like, oh, we're actually halfway there. Great. These last two, whatever, 10 steps, they take a lot longer. But to know that like we're past big milestones is huge for any project that you're a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. So not necessarily just knowing a timeline, but what the steps are is helpful, is what you're saying. And so during this process, you're gonna get in visibility. It's not easy to say quickly. Visibility, and they're gonna break down the timeline. Okay, you're gonna have access on your side. They're gonna have kind of an admin portal where after they complete a task, They're going to go in and either check it off or write a description of what they did. If it's worth taking a picture, like, hey, we just laid the foundation, snap a picture of that. That way I don't have to drive over and I can say, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, they laid the foundation. They're good. Looks like we're trending in the right way.
And there are things also throughout that process of like, we just got the shipment of your shower and toilet or whatever. We're going to put them in today. And they take a picture of that. And it's like, oh, wait, that's the wrong toilet.
I love that.
That's the wrong shower. Like we, in our house, it's like they put in a bunch of, we call them boob lights, but just like those.
Yep. Everyone knows what that is.
Those bulb lights there. And we specifically said, hey, don't put those in.
Yeah.
And so one day we went there, lights were not in. And then the next day, boob lights everywhere, as well as canned lights. And so it was like, okay, like had you just let us know, hey, boob lights have been delivered, we're going to install them today. No, don't do that. Let me stop you right there. We so you could course correct as, to avoid this stuff, which again, this is setting back their project. So they're going to have to go and fix it, which is setting back 12 other people's projects,
Exactly.
right? So it's like having that customer input actually can save time, as opposed to extend it.
So you're providing them with accountability, but it gives you the opportunity to catch some of those mistakes before they even happen, right? So that's kind of it.
This is a good idea.
It's a good idea. And I know it's a good idea because me and my neighbor talked about this like a few months ago.
Sure
Yeah.
you did.
Well, we talked about like, man, like, wouldn't it be nice if, because we went through this building process at the same time, wouldn't it have been nice had, because a good example, when we were going through the choosing our options for a house, we were choosing the colors and we got to the door and we're like, oh, what color should we do our door? And at the time, we're like, I guess we'll do a yellow door. Sure, that's fun. It'll match our colors. And then later, we're like, actually, no, we kind of changed our mind. Didn't really have a good way to communicate that. So we sent an email like, hey, we actually want to switch to a white door. That never got communicated. And then while we were there, we happened to be by the house watching it. And then they spray paint the door like the brightest yellow you've ever seen.
And it's still yellow. Right?
And it's still yellow.
It's very yellow.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, we did communicate, but like now we're past the point. It's like, it's not worth,
It's a yellow door.
It's a yellow door. Here we have it. And it's fine now. But like, yeah, in that scenario, like it would have been so easy, so nice to be able to open up an app or log into my portal and be like, all right, where are we at? We've actually made a change here. And like the hardest thing is like, here are the two problems I see. One, plugging into every other, whatever systems that other general
That they're already using.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably not using anything, but if they are using something, like making sure that integrates. The other problem is like the reason a lot of general contractors, like there is a big lack, is they're contracting out everything. And so they're contracting out the plumbing to some other company. They're contracting the painting. And so like they have to like coordinate with these guys. And it's like, there's like triple layers of miscommunication or like, they're that far removed from the problem. And so like just figuring out a way to like essentially make a general contractor more accountable, like that could be a little tricky.
Maybe what you do is, because there obviously are dozens of different subcontractors and people that come in that don't know anything about us. They just know they have to come in and do X thing, right? So maybe the idea is you have call it a kiosk or a big stand with an iPad in the middle that just stays there. Everyone that comes in, they know they have to check in, see the next step, check it off, take a picture.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I actually really like that.
So the actual device lives at the job site.
Right.
And that way, it doesn't matter if you're the plumber and you don't know who else is working on what. You're there to complete your task. And you don't have to get a login to that guy. You don't have to get any